Today we have the Oppo Reno 3 Pro and we're gonna see if it's worth buying. Hello guys, welcome to the channel. You're watching Technicos and today we're gonna review Oppo Reno 3 Pro. Let's start with the design. So it comes with a Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and the back is polycarbonate, which is plastic, and even the body is plastic, which makes the phone super light and easy to hold. Now everything has a subtle green hint to it, like the power button, and even the earphones that you get in the box, they have little green tints on the inside. Now the back has a little texture to it and it comes with a C-type power cable. The jack is C-type and it comes with a headphone jack, which is a win-win situation. Coming on to the display. Now it has a 60Hz 6.4-inch Super AMOLED Full HD display with a PPI count of 405, which means it's a very good display and it comes with a fingerprint reader inside the display. Talking about the cameras, which is probably the highlight feature of this phone, it has a quad cam setup with a 64 megapixel primary camera, a 13 megapixel telephoto lens, and a 8 megapixel ultra wide and a 2 megapixel depth sensor, which I personally like because I don't like the macro lenses which companies provide. 2 megapixel macro lens, they take very horrible shots and I don't really like them. They're kind of useless in mid-range phones. Now through the magic of software, you can take 108 megapixel camera pictures with this phone in the manual mode. Although it's not a sensor, it's through software, so the image quality is not as good as a 108 megapixel camera, but it's just better than the 64 megapixel primary lens which this one has. Now you get to see a ton of new features in the camera mode, but only some of them are useful, like the portrait video mode and the ultra stable mode. That is amazing but kind of choppy and fake, and also the tripod mode for the ultra low light amazing pictures. That is one of the best features of this phone. You can digitally zoom it to 20x, which is called the hybrid zoom, and on the video front you can take 4K videos in 30 fps. Now on the front it has two cameras, a 44 megapixel primary camera and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. Now the front cam is pretty good and it has a lot of features like the portrait mode video and even the ultra wide. I don't know how they managed it because they don't have a ultra wide lens, but still they managed to fit it in somehow. Now the quality of the camera is pretty decent. I would not say it's the best camera in the mid-range category, and I don't know why the hype is there, but yes, it's pretty decent. It's not that great, it's not much of a big of a deal, but it's cool. Coming on to the processor, it has a MediaTek Helio P95 12 nanometer octa-core processor, and it has 8 GB of LPDDR4 RAM and 128 GB of UFS 2.1 storage. So the performance is okay-ish, but yes, it heats up a little bit while gaming and it's not particularly the best at it. Now on the software front, we get to see Android 10 with ColorOS 7. Now the ColorOS 7 is a great UI. It gives you a lot of features with a lot of customizations and all, but I personally prefer a stock Android experience, which can be achieved with a launcher like the Nova launcher or any other launcher which gives you a stock Android experience. Coming on to the battery, now it has a battery which is slightly above 4000 mAh and has a 30 watt VOOC charger, so that means a fast charging and there is no complaint in that department. It charges up very fast, 70% in about 25 to 30 minutes, and that's pretty good. That's pretty fast and it's pretty good in that department. Coming on to the price, now it is priced at around 29,000. So is it worth the price? I think it's a decent phone with a slightly lower end chipset and a decent camera. So it's all up to you, it's all up to your needs. If you need a gaming phone or a phone in which your usage is high, I think you should avoid this one. But if you're looking for a camera phone, I think this one is pretty decent and you can get this one. There is no problem in it. This was pretty much it for this video, and you can watch my opinions on the OnePlus Nord and even the review on OnePlus 7T in the I button or in my channel videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.